All right, guys, welcome. So this is Paraskevi 2024, day 2, and today we're going to be addressing a very important topic, which is achieving godlike psychology. Right, achieving godlike psychology. All right, so first of all, before we go into the topic, I would like you to watch yesterday's teaching, as the previous one. I'll be putting them in the playlist so that you can be able to access everything at once, all right? So we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. And, many traders will not want to listen to this, right? They all focus about chart patterns, entries, exits, getting free profit accounts. That is the reason why so many traders struggle, because they major on the minors and the minor on the majors. So the things that are important, they don't give much attention to it. And the things that are a byproduct of certain things, for instance, now, let us say, okay, like in a marriage now, children are a byproduct of marriage, right? Now imagine someone that is not married, but it's more focused on children. It's just like how traders have many traders are, they focus on the byproduct of a thing. Meanwhile, they should put in their focus on that thing itself, right? So you should be focused on the healthy marriage, not the children, because children are a byproduct of what a healthy marriage, right? So that is it. So now, what is trade psychology, right? How do we achieve godlike trade psychology? So the first thing we have to do, we have to understand what trade psychology is, right? So this is what it is, right? I'm using the new system once again. Shout out to those that made it possible. We have a new system on ground, right? So now, trade psychology emphasizes the importance of what? Self-awareness, emotional regulation, risk management, discipline, resilience in order to make more objective, consistent, and successful trading decisions. That is the whole definition by Investopedia. Right, that is just what trade psychology is. So it emphasizes the importance of having self-awareness. So you must be self-aware. Right, self-awareness simply means being able to observe your decisions, observe your feelings, observe yourself. That is what self-awareness is. Then what is emotional regulation? Being able to keep your emotions in check, right? As a human being, it is not possible to eliminate emotions when it comes to trading. It's not possible. You cannot eliminate emotions when it comes to trading. I feel emotions too. I feel sometimes when I'm in a trade and it's going against me, I get sometimes very upset or tensed. But what makes you a an advanced trader is able to regulate your emotions, meaning that yes, you feel those things, but they don't control your actions, right? That is what emotional regulation is. You feel it, but you don't allow it to control you, right? You are able to still think objectively, regardless of how you feel about it, right? Then we have risk management, which I've talked about several simply, managing your risk, using risk reward, knowing that you should be risking less to make more. So that in case you take a loss, one loss will not be taken out. Imagine taking a trade and one loss is taking out your 1 month profit. That is not risk management. So you want to have the trade in a way that even if you're taking losses, um it is not up to what you gain, right? You have to gain more than what you lose, right? So discipline, discipline is simply um sticking to rules. You have your trading rules, you have your trading plan. Okay, this is my confirmation for an entry. I'm going to enter this trade when I see this and that, right? That is what, and resilience. Resilience, is simply being consistent. I was it to be consistent with your actions, no matter how tough it gets. You might lose an account, you're still resilient. Resilience simply means not giving up, right? That's what the psychology is all about. So if you can put all these things in place, then you can develop psychology. So now I've told you what it implies. This is all what trade psychology implies, right? This is what godlike trade psychology implies. This is all you have to put all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in place in order to achieve objective, consistent, and successful result, right? So now, what are the things you need to put in place to achieve all this? Because how can you regulate your emotions? How can you develop discipline? How can you be resilient? How can you be self-aware? Right? These are the things I have to talk about. That is if I'm focused on how to develop that godlike trait psychology, right? That's what I'm focused on, how you can achieve this. It's not just to tell you this is what you need to do. I have to also talk about how to do it, right? So now, welcome to Paraskevi 2024 once again. Do want to share this video with your friends, share with your loved ones because they need this video. This is the kind of video you need to watch over and over and over again because some things might fly off your face, right? It might just fly over your head. But when you come back repeatedly, then you'll be able to get better understanding of what I'm discussing with you, all right? So now we have understood what it is. Now, how do you achieve godlike trait psychology, right? It's psychology in which godlike trait psychology can be defined as a, a, a kind of psychology that is unknown to most traders, right? There is a statistics that says that 95% of traders lose their money, right, on the long run. That means if we see 100 traders now, 95 of them are actually losing their money, right? Some of them might lose it in 1 month, some might be 1 year, but if they deposit, right? So there is a survey that if you take 100 traders now, if you go and check with their statements, if they deposited, let's say all of them deposited $1,000 by January, from that January down to now, which is December, out of those 100 traders, the statistics says that about 90 to 95 actually end up losing their money. Some may lose all of it, some may lose 20%, some may lose 30, some may lose 40. Only 5% would end up the year in profits. That is what it's saying, right? It doesn't mean that all of them blow their accounts, right? It doesn't mean that everybody blow their account. It simply means that at the end of a given period, if you study 100 traders, about 90 would be in negative. That's what it simply means, right? So you might make profit for January and February, and then withdraw. Before you know, you not take a loss and wipes everything off. So that is just what it is. So for you to achieve godlike psychology, it simply means you want to be part of the 5% that are consistently profitable, right? That is it. So if you ask me, we all have access to the same materials, right? We have access to the same trading materials. We have access to the same videos, the same strategy. That is why you can see 10 people using the same strategy and only one is profitable. Only two are profitable in the long run because it's not about trading systems, right? It's not about trading style. It's not about trading systems, right? It's not about trading systems. That is where many people don't get it. It's not about trading systems, right? It's not about trading systems. It's about your psychology because the mindset that makes it different. That's why someone can be seen a buy, another person using the same strategy seen it. So you can see that the difference is always psychology. That is always the difference. The difference is always psychology, right? That is why you can see different people having different biases on the same markets, right? So now, how do we achieve this godlike psychology? How do you achieve godlike psychology? How do we do it? Right. So the easiest, I'll giving you some steps, the things you must put in place, right? So before you can achieve godlike psychology, there are some things you must put in place, right? You must put certain things in place. And one of the things you must put in place, I've always said this, number one, I'm not talking about how to achieve it. So the things you must put in place, right? Things to be put in place, right? You have to put these things in place because they have to be there before you can achieve this psychology. Right. So things to be put in place. These are the things that have helped me in my trading, right? There are things that you have to put in place. Number one, you have to have what? Um, Steady cash flow, right? Steady cash inflow. So you have to have inflow of cash, right? And you can have this by doing what? Having what? Alternative income sources, right? This is what many people won't tell you. You have to have alternative income sources. It's very, very important, right? I've always preached this and I'm still preaching it again today. That when you're learning how to trade, you don't want to make trading your only source of income. And I always tell my students that even if I don't make profit for the next um even if I don't make profit for the next 1 month, I'm still going to be able to feed myself and take care of my bills because I have other things going, right? So you have to put this in place. You must have, all right, alternative income sources is very, very important because imagine when you're trading, right, and all your bills are depending on your out trade come. Imagine that maybe all you have is $1,000, and if you're going to feed, it's going to come from your trading profits. If you're going to buy toiletries, anything you do is going to come from that. Right? Imagine how difficult it's going to be, right? But when you have other things give you money, imagine that you have, maybe you do drop shipping, right? At the end of the month, you're getting, let's say $10 on, I mean, you're getting maybe $50 on drop shipping. Let us assume someone that has, let us just do an analogy now, right? We have Mr. A and we have Mr. B. So Mr. A Mr. A has $1,000 account, right? He has $800 account, and that is all. He doesn't have other income sources. So all his trading depends on his profit. So all his life expenses depends on his profits. And then we have Mr. B. He also have a $100 account, but Mr. B also has other things. So at the end of the month, now at the end of the month, he has drop shipping. His drop shipping business gives him, let's say it gives him, let's say $50. So his drop shipping, I want to just give you that. So his drop shipping is giving him what? $40. Right? 40, he make $4 on drop shipping. I don't know why it's red. Right. So drop shipping is $40. Why is it not letting me? Okay. So his drop shipping is giving him $40. Then maybe he does a market, maybe does online sales, right? Maybe he has a course or something. So he has online sales. He's making what, let's say $200 from online sales, right? And he maybe, let's say he has another business. Maybe let's say he has a kind of drink shop. He has a drink shop, right? And then his drink shop is giving him maybe $100 profit at the end of the month, right? Now he has made about $340 without even trading. Let's assume that even if he ends up, maybe he lost his trading, maybe he's trading now. At the end of the month, maybe he lost 140, right? He lost 140. So he lost 140 in his trading. Let's assume that maybe he lost, he had a losing mode, right? So look at Mr. B. He has a $1,000 account, drop shipping 40. So he makes all this at the end of the month. And after trading, he made minus 140. You can see that even though he made minus 140, you can see that he still has, he's still net profitable. Because if you minus 140 from everything he has made from his other businesses, you can see that he is actually what? In a positive equity balance, right? But compare this to someone that is only focused on trading now, and let's say he also ended the month with what? Minus 140, right? He ended the month with minus 140. You can see that now this guy will be in a very negative place because he didn't make any profits. Even if he's to spend money now, he's going to be spending from his capital. So his capital is now down to what? About 860. Why Mr. B that lost 140, even if he decided to refund this, okay, let's assume that maybe he takes his drink shop business and he takes 140. He made $100 a year and he made 40 a year. Assume that he takes this and puts back a trading account. You can say that he's back to 1,000 and he still has profit of what, 200 to take care of his expenses. Right? You can see that this guy that has other things doing, he's more in a better place than trader A. That is how I want you to approach trading. Make trading at the beginner stage as just one of your means of income. Don't make it your only means of income because it's going to be very difficult to have a godlike psychology. It's going to be really, really difficult because all your bills, no matter how unemotional you want to be, no matter what kind of motivational speech you listen to, no matter what you do, no matter how long you meditate or you read the Bible or you pray, you're still going to have that emotional turmoil because everything depends on your trading results. So you want to make sure that you have other things doing. You want to have other businesses running. You want to have a job, right? You want to have a job that gives you a little freedom to trade. I'm talking of a kind of job that is not too busy. You can decide to change your job. You can look for a job that gives you a little bit freedom. Maybe you come back a bit early and have some vacations, those kind of stress-free jobs, right? Because if you're too busy, your trading will still suffer. So you have to find a job that gives that freedom, a little bit time. Or if you don't want a job, you can go into business, you can go into online sales, you can go into marketing, you can go into web design, you can just go to something else that can give you money, right? That is how it should be. It makes it very easy. And when you have other things doing, you're not always on the chat 247. It kind of keeps you busy because anytime you're watching the chat, you're under that psychological where not you have to do something, you have to make money. If the market is moving, you want to be part of it. But when you have other things doing, you cannot place your trade and just walk away and you're not looking at the screen, because the outcome of your trading does not determine if you take care of your bills or not, right? So it's very important that you must have other things doing while you are learning. It's very important. You must put that in place. Very, very important, right? That are the things you must put in place. An alternative income source, something that gives you money without the chart, right? Another thing you must put in place is that you must have what um right mentorship, right? There's no point, you cannot achieve um this godlike psychology when you don't even know what you're doing. So you can't be watching random YouTube videos and hoping to have a cool psychology, because you're just watching random things. And most things on YouTube, when it comes to strategy, they don't really go deep. Like, there are things that they reserve for their private students. That is the truth about it. Any mentor that has private students would always reserve something for his private student. They won't share it unless you meet someone that does not have a private mentorship. That's the only person you can trust to teach you everything. But someone that has his private mentorship with his private students, we always want to keep something for them. So it's best you look for a mentor that has students with results, right? It's very important. You must get right mentorship, because you cannot experience this God-like psychology when you don't even trust what you're doing. There is no consistency in your understanding. There is no depth of understanding. Is very wrong, right? So you have to acquire right mentorship, pay for mentorships. Evans Academy runs on a 1 year basis, unlike other academies that go for monthly, right? So most academies charge $100 monthly. Some charge 20,000 naira monthly, but also we're charging only 45,000 naira for a full year, not a month, a full year. So you are very affordable. We have the track record, we have the results. So you cannot use the link in the description to join our paid mentorship. That is the second thing you must do. You must have right mentorship. Very, very important to have right mentorship. These are the things you must put in place to have your right, and then you must have what we call a how do I put it? You must have what we call time management. You must learn how to manage your time, right? Or let's say a schedule or for your time management. So you must learn how to manage your time. At least one thing that many traders fail to realize, they're always under um impulse. Right? They don't have time management schedule. They don't have time to do things. Right? They must have time. Okay, this is the time I'm going to be trading. This is the time I'm going to be attend to my family. This is the time I'm going to be in my office. You learn to manage your time. Very important, because when you're under pressure due to not meeting up. Imagine now that I am here now, as I'm recording this video, someone is calling me, please come and do this for me. And as I'm here, I'm thinking about something else I'm supposed to do, I've not covered up. I'm thinking about another thing. Imagine I won't be able to focus and give you guys this lecture. So I have set out the time. Okay, before I came for this class now, or this video, before I came to make this video, I have already done other things I'm supposed to do. I went to my business place, I've gone to the bank, I've gone I settled some people there. I've attended to my students, my previous students. I've done all those things. So right now I am free, like completely free. So you have to learn how to manage your time. Start with the things that need to be done. Then when you have done those things, you can have time to do things. So let's assume that maybe in a week now, you're supposed to watch 5 trading videos. You're supposed to go to the bank to do something. You're supposed to do some work in the office. So you cannot say, okay, I have 5 videos to watch. Okay, let me watch one every day by 9 o'clock in the night. Let me do my office project for 1 hour every day. Just learn, okay, learn to allocate time to things, right? When you allocate time to things, it helps to put your head in a good place, because when you're doing one thing, you're focused on that 100%. Like as I'm teaching you guys now, I'm focused on this. I am not trading now. I am not looking at charts. I'm not doing anything. I'm not texting anybody. I'm not receiving calls. I'm not doing any other thing apart from dishing this information. So you have to learn to put a time for a specific thing, and then you focus on that thing completely. That is what helps your psychology to be in a good place. Your mind is in one place at the exact time, right? So these are the things you need to put in place before you can achieve your trade psychology. And now the last thing you must put in place is that you must have what a goal. Right? I talk about it. You must have a goal for yourself, something that tickles you, because this is a goal that will make you to want to continue. There are times in which you face difficulties in trading, and the only thing that can keep you going is your goal. Right? You ask yourself, okay, if I give up now, how am I going to achieve the goal? right? If I give up now, how am I going to achieve this goal? Right? If I give up now, how am I going to achieve this goal? So when you ask yourself those questions, then you will see that um, when you ask yourself those questions, you will see that it becomes more difficult to give up. So you must have a goal. I said yesterday that if you're playing a football match and there's no goal post, you will just be very disorganized. So you must have a goal. Okay, I want to achieve this at the end of next year. I told you guys to write a goal yesterday, right? You must have a goal. It helps you to be in a good place. This is what you want for yourself. This is what you want for your family. That goal will keep you in the right place. Now let us talk about how to develop the godlike psychology. Now, how do we develop this godlike psychology? Now, this is the how. So let's talk about how we can develop godlike psychology, that the things that you can do to develop this godlike psychology, right? Right. Right. So it's how to develop godlike psychology. This is how you can develop that godlike psychology. Number one, very important, you must have what knowledge, right? You must get knowledge, right? Get knowledge. Right. It's very important. You must be knowledgeable about what you're doing. So let's say get knowledge about what you're doing, yeah. So you have to get deep knowledge about what you're doing. You must know why, what you have to get knowledge. Okay, now, okay, for instance, now, why is the US, where is the US dollar dropping? Based on what I know, seasonality suggests that dollar should drop in December. So you must have knowledge because um when you don't know what you're doing, let's assume that let's assume that maybe you're asked to come and make a kind of food, right? If you're asked to come and make that kind of food, right? And you know how to make it very well. Would you be intimidated by anybody? Can anyone come and say, look at you, don't even have to cook? You won't even mind the person because you know what you're doing. So knowledge builds psychology. When you have deep understanding of what you're doing, you cannot be easily intimidated. You will not know fear, right? So you have to get knowledge. You can get knowledge from those that have gone ahead of you. You can get knowledge from YouTube. You have to get knowledge about your strategy, about what works, fundamentals, all those things. All right, how to calculate lot size, how to do those things, how to manage your risk. You must also have knowledge about those things. That's the first thing to do. Because one of the reasons I can take a trade on a 1 minute chart and I'm risking as much as $150 on a 1 minute chart is because I have knowledge. I know why the market should respond to what I am doing. So you have to get knowledge about what you're doing. Very important. I think you must get knowledge. Right? You must get knowledge. It's very important. Get knowledge about what you're doing. That knowledge is going to do it. It's going to build your psychology. Right? Imagine taking a trade when you know that this is what should happen. Right? It gives you that freedom, right? So it's very important. You must get knowledge. Pay for mentorship. Stop looking for free things. Pay for mentorships. Don't allow 2024 to come without paying for a mentorship. Don't allow it. So watching this video, go and bring that money and pay for mentorship. That money you are saving somewhere, use the link in the description and pay for a mentorship. That is very important. Yes, you have to pay for mentorship. Very, very important. That's the first thing to do. Get knowledge. Pay for mentorship and get knowledge. Right? Now, the next thing you must do to achieve godlike psychology. And this is the second thing. It's very, very important. So when you have gotten your knowledge, another thing you must do always was risk only what you're comfortable with. Right? There is no right. So you have to risk only what you're comfortable losing. Right? What you are comfortable. What if you lose it now, you would not feel will not feel left out. So you have to risk only what you're comfortable losing. Are you comfortable losing $5,000? No problem. Risk that. Are you comfortable losing $2? Good. Risk that. Risk only what you're comfortable losing. What if you lose now? You'll be fine with it. Well, that is why I prefer prop firms because I feel more comfortable. Instead of putting um $500 in my account, I prefer to use $50 and buy a prop firm account because with Profim, it is less risk to me. Now you can get a funding pips account for $32 for a 5K account. Right. So I feel that Profims are more less risk to me. That's why I feel comfortable with Profims more than private capital because of the psychological aspects. Instead of losing my own $500, I feel comfortable losing it in a profit account. So you have to be risk what what you're comfortable losing. Very, very important. I don't allow anyone to pressure you online, right? Develop it. And now I want to say something you have to do. Very, very important. I want to mention here as well. So this is something that many people don't talk about. Right. Keep your result to yourself. Keep your results private. So this is one thing that many people um fail to do. They like to post their profits, post this, post that. When you're posting all those things, though this is not a general rule, but from my experience, I noticed that if you keep your results private, you're not under any pressure to meet up with anybody's expectation, right? So you're just focused on your growth, on yourself, right? It's very nice if you can keep your results private, right? You can keep your process. Let's say keep your process private, right? Let us not say results. So keep it private, right? Keep all those things private, right? Keep your process and results private. So you have to keep those things private. I don't always okay. You make $100 today. You can't tell everybody I made $100 today, and when you don't make it tomorrow, they're going to look at you somehow. They start putting expectations on you, even when you're not very consistent. So it's very nice if you keep your result private, keep your earnings private, keep how much you make private, keep your everything private until you've gotten to a particular threshold where you cannot fall so easily, right? But while you're still trying to grow, it's best to keep your results private until you've gotten maybe to a level in which it's very difficult for you to fall again. Maybe you have achieved a very great milestone where you know that okay, nothing can spoil what I'm doing now. Right? But while you're still growing, when you have not gotten to where you want to go, you want to keep your goals private, you want to keep your results private, you want to keep all those things private. It's very important to keep those things private because what people don't know, they cannot destroy. Right? Then another thing you have to do to achieve godlike psychology is we must think in probabilities, right? I've talked about this before. What I mean by probabilities, it simply means that you have to believe that the market has different outcomes, right? There's no strategy that is 100% um that has 100% strike rate, right? You're going to encounter losses. So you don't have to put too much significance on a singular trade or a singular week. Maybe you had a losing week this week. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a losing week next week and the upper week, right? So you have to learn to think in probabilities. And if you're in a winning streak, doesn't mean that you're going to win the next trade. So you must think in probabilities. You have to see every trading opportunity as a unique one. Okay, this is a unique opportunity. There's a chance I can lose this and there's a chance I can win it. So always see each trade as a different one. Don't say, okay, because I won the last one and it looks like this, that means I win this one because it also looks like that. No, that's not what happened because Mark Douglas was telling us a story about where he was working. Right, he said that a technical analyst was working for a man, a businessman, and he was like his technical advisor before taking his trades. So he told his boss that okay, he was believing that the market was a commodities market, that the market was supposed to pump, right? It was supposed to buy from a particular level. And he gave all his reasons that he's going to buy. He was very sure. He told his boss that it must buy. So the boss told him, okay, no problem. The boss picked up his phone and called the trading floor and told them to sell that market with a very good amount of position size. And what do you think happened? The analysis that this guy said was going to go up, it went down and went down drastically. So you can see that no matter how good your trading outcome, your trading no matter how good the setup looks, no matter how good your analysis is, there's always a chance that it can go wrong because at the back end of the market, you don't know who is taking positions against you. If maybe you think market is going to buy and someone that has the money that does not even know technical analysis, the person can set to sell against you and it goes against you. So there are banks trading, there are banks, there are hedge funds, there are big firms trading against you. So you don't have to take losses personally because one thing can lead to a loss. May not be, it may be a news event. There can be an earthquake now. Let's assume that you're believing that USD is going to buy, right? That means euro will go higher than the dollar, right? And it's going to buy, right? And something happens, maybe there's an earthquake in euro, or maybe the president of Europe gets gets shot, right? You can see that there's going to be what? There's going to be a drop in the economy because they have lost their president, right? So that is it. I'm just giving an example. Oh. That is disclaimer. That's an example, right? I'm not trying to say anything. So now you're going to see that there are things that are beyond your control. That's why you must think in probabilities. There are things beyond your control. Think what you have to always think. What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? That is should be how you should approach the market. What if it earns a loss? What if it earns a profit? Always think in that what if mindset. Don't think it must be right. That is what makes you a godlike trader. Think in the place of what if, not it must be. Think what if, not it must be. Right? You must think in probabilities. It's very, very important if you want to see trading success and you want to achieve that godlike psychological status, right? So now when you are thinking in probabilities, what do you do? Now I think this should be the final step. All right, this should be the final step of achieving godlike status. Then you must learn to detach. Oh my god, this is the last one. Detach from results. Right. Now Buddha, the Buddha gave about 4 basic truths, and I'll talk about the first 2 truths that Buddha gave. And I read this on the book. Please get this book, The Zen Trader. So read this book, The Zen Trader. It will really, really help you to understand what I want to talk about. So read this book. So now Buddha gave 5 truths, right? So I'll talk about the first two. He says the first thing he said that life is suffering. That is what the first thing he said. Life is suffering. And the second thing he said, the that attachment is the cause of all suffering, right? So this is the two I want to talk about. So he said that life is suffering and the attachment is the cause of all suffering. So when you are attached to a thing, it makes you suffer. Let's assume that maybe you have maybe a girlfriend or a boyfriend that you were dating for maybe 10 years. And after that 10 years, you notice that this person is not really the person you want to really live the rest of your life with. This person maybe the person is an alcoholic, the person he has some kind of mental illnesses or chosen evil paths, which or evil chosen evil habits that he's refusing to change. Now, the best thing to do in that situation is to simply cut ties with the person. But many people would not want to do that because they are attached to that person. They have been with that person for 10 years or that. So you can see that they are suffering, and the cause of their suffering is because they are attached to that person. They know that the best thing to do is to end that relationship, but they can't do it because they have been attached to that person. That is what I'm trying to explain. But the reason why many people suffer is because they are attached to a thing. If you can learn to detach from things, you can learn to detach from trade results, you're going to find it more easy. Many of you, I remember when I was learning how to trade, I'll be in a trade and the market is clearly going against me. What should I do? I will still hold on because why? I am attached to what? The idea that I must win or my analysis is right? So I was really, really focused on things, right? I was too attached. I was imagine like now maybe you run a signal group and you give a signal that Euros is going to buy. And maybe you have like 10K followers and you have posted it for them to see, and they have seen you as the idol, the king of trading, the one that never goes wrong. Now you're not going to want to accept that you are wrong because you are attached to that status. So you have to learn to detach from results. Don't tie your self-worth, don't tie your sense of belonging, don't tie your anything, don't tie your self-awareness to your result because trading is difficult, right? It's very difficult to do well. And if it was easy, everybody would be rich. Haven't you wondered why 95% are failing? It's difficult. Trading is a difficult thing. It's not like your regular jobs in which you can manipulate your way or you can bully your way into being successful. No, it doesn't work. It's difficult. So why would you be attaching your emotions or your self-worth to something as difficult as this business? It's difficult. It's a difficult business. You have to say that trading is difficult. It's a very difficult thing to succeed at. So why would you want to attach your self-worth? Okay, now you lose it, that means you're a bad person. Or you blew an account, that means you are a failure. It doesn't make any sense to tie your your self-identity to your results. It doesn't make any sense. Even the best traders lose money. The best hedge fund managers, they lose money. And they lose sometimes in millions of dollars. Right? They lose money. Hedge funds lose money. Banks lose money. So you have to learn to detach from results, right? You have to learn to detach from results. Very, very important. It's going to really help you to achieve a godlike status. And now I think I didn't add this. It should be under number one, and that is I think it should be under number one, right? I didn't talk about backtesting, so you can add backtesting here. So you have to. I will just put it in brackets. Um, um, Backtesting. So backtesting also builds that knowledge bank. So backtesting is very important, very, very important. You must learn to backtest, right? So it helps to build knowledge. So I think add this, you also add backtesting to that. So it's very important when you have to backtest. Backtesting gives you confidence in what you know. So after you have gotten knowledge, you want to backtest to solidify the knowledge. Right? Getting knowledge is like buying getting knowledge is like buying cement, right? It's like buying cement and getting knowledge is like buying cement, right? And water. Why backtesting is actually the process where you mix that cement and water to make it solid, right? So you can see knowledge as just getting when you're getting knowledge, see it as getting the materials to build a house. Why backtesting is the process of now putting those things in place, mixing the water, mixing this and that, and then making it something worthwhile, right? So you have to backtest to solidify what you know. It builds confidence, right? So that is it. So apart from this, I don't. These are the things I think that should give you that godlike status, right? It should give you that godlike psychology. You must put all these things in place, right? These are just the important part of it. And of course, you have to add God to the equation, right? You have to you have to believe, right? You have to believe in yourself. I've talked about that in I think one of my boot camps. I talk about believing in yourself, believing in God, the spiritual side of trading. You have to also put that, but I don't want to talk about those ones because I've already talked about those ones before. So I'll put in the link to that teaching um I did about believing in God, believing in yourself, belief systems. I'll be doing so. I would like you guys to watch that video and talk about belief systems. So I'll be putting the link in the description. So I'll put in the link. I think it's day 14 over 13. I think it was day 14 of our October YouTube mentorship. So it was day 14 of our October YouTube mentorship. So I'll post the link for you guys in the description so you can get the video directly. So I would like you guys to watch that. I talk about believing in God, how you can use belief systems to actually improve your psychology, right? You have to believe in a greater power than you, right? So I would like you guys to watch that video, day 14 of October YouTube mentorship. The link will be in the description, right? So the link will be in the description. So if you want to use opportunity to join our paid mentorship, use the link in the description, right? That you see the link to join our pay group in the description as well. So I would love to see you guys in tomorrow's teaching, which is the last day of this training, right? So have a wonderful day. Cheers and God bless. But yeah, one last thing. Do how to type in one lesson you got from this. What was the most important thing you learned from this teaching? Do how to type it in the comment section. So I'll be reading that and I will know that you guys are really following, right? So see you guys tomorrow.